Hello and welcome to Global News Factory. I'm your host Vikrant. We're covering two topics today. First, a clash between Zelensky and the Commander-in-Chief of Ukraine, Oleksandr Syrskyi, after Pokrovsk setback. We're hearing from insiders that Syrskyi might soon be fired by the presidential office for the humiliation on the battlefield. But that is not the only humiliation. Russia is pounding Ukraine's energy sector like there is no tomorrow. And guess what? Zelensky has managed to find a sacrificial lamb here too. We also discuss rumors that Zelensky himself and his circle may be hunting for safe havens outside Ukraine as front lines crumble. Let's begin. We have an interesting development from Ukraine. It is a full-fledged meltdown. We are hearing that a clash has started between Zelensky's team and the Ukrainian army after the Pokrovsk setback. Pokrovsk fell faster than expected. Ukraine forces underestimated Russia's firepower on that front, and Kyiv did not see it coming. Now, insiders say that Zelensky has warned the Commander-in-Chief Oleksandr Syrskyi to launch a counter-offensive right now or start packing boxes. The boss tone is on loudspeaker. The report comes from the Telegram channel The Resident. It is not pro-Russia, they are Ukraine insiders, and they say that Zelensky was told that Mirnograd is encircled and Pokrovsk is completely lost. The army tried 4 counterattacks, all 4 failed. Let me quote from the Telegram channel. Our sources reported that today Zelensky was informed about the encirclement of Mirnograd and the complete loss of Pokrovsk. The Ukrainian armed forces have already conducted 4 operations in an attempt to counterattack the enemy, but they all ended in failure, unquote. Now, it's like trying to reboot a crashed laptop with positive thinking. The screen still says, nope. Remember, just 4 days ago, 4 days, Kyiv officials said, oh, there is no encirclement. They were denying any surrender talk around Pokrovsk. Today, those denials have aged like milk. The line has snapped, the map has moved, and morale has taken a vacation without notice. Now, the pressure game starts. According to the same source, the head of the president's office, Andriy Yermak, has sent yet another warning to Syrskyi: break the blockade around Mirnograd or you shall be fired. That is not a gentle nudge, that is the HR email no one wants. So here we are. The defeat is ugly and someone must carry the blame. Zelensky looks ready to pin it on Syrskyi. Classic playbook. When the fort falls, blame the gatekeeper. Simple, clean, and very convenient. But wait, there is one more twist. Former Pentagon advisor Colonel Douglas Macgregor says Zelensky might soon disappear. I'm quoting. I think Zelensky may soon disappear. He can get on his plane and fly to Poland. He must face the consequences of his actions. He should meet with the people whose lives he has needlessly squandered, as well as with the Russians, unquote. Now, these are his words, not mine. Strong words, the kind that echo in big empty rooms. Now, that is his opinion, but the idea has legs. Why? Because Zelensky looks lonely at the top. Nobody in Ukraine likes him. The army is not smiling. Syrskyi is not smiling, of course. The public is not smiling. We have seen so many surveys now. The free press, they are fuming. Even the anti-corruption folks are not sending him flowers. He stays where he is because NATO likes him, and that is the magic seatbelt. But seatbelts work only if the car is still moving. If the front collapses, NATO loses its grip. And when the grip slips, the shield fades. And then those same anti-corruption files might reappear. So what happens next? If the line keeps breaking, if Mirnograd stays ringed, if every counterpunch misses, the political weather in Kiev will turn from cloudy to hailstorm. A leader without battlefield wins is a leader with shrinking friends. At that moment, the safest runway might not be in Ukraine, it might be across the border, with a nice welcome desk and a multilingual sign. Poland, perhaps. Or any friendly airport with good espresso and zero arrest warrants. Let's connect the dots. Pokrovsk fell fast, the command is rattled, the palace is angry, Syrskyi is on thin ice, and the sun is out. The narrative is shifting from we will hold to who will we blame. For now, the key question is simple: will a fresh counteroffensive change the plot, or is this the moment the script flips for good? We will watch Mirnograd, we will watch the command shakeup, and we will also watch flight schedules, because sometimes the biggest headline is not a tank rolling in, it is a plane rolling out. Moving on, when you play with fire, don't act shocked when your house smells like barbecue. Ukraine's energy crisis did not fall from the sky. It came from a big, bold miscalculation at the top, and now the blame game is on speed dial. Let's rewind. The Zelensky government thought, hit Russia's oil and gas, cut the money, and the war. Sounds dramatic, sounds clever on paper, but wars don't run on paper, they run on pressure, power, and payback. Russia did the obvious thing, it hit back hard, and now Ukraine's power grid is coughing, lights are flickering, and winter is standing outside the door like a cold landlord saying, "Rent please." On November 8th, Ukraine's energy minister said there are emergency power cuts across the country, across several regions. That means ordinary people are sitting in the dark, watching phone batteries die like brave little soldiers. It also means that hospitals, schools, small shops, and big factories all feel the pinch. This is not just a policy note, it is real life. No power. This is not a headline, it is a daily fight to keep the food fresh and kids warm. And what happens when a plan blows up? A bad leader always looks for a fall guy. It wasn't me, it was that guy. Enter the latest villain of the week, Volodymyr Kudryavtsky, the former head of the state grid company. He ran the grid, raised foreign support, and tried to keep the wires alive under missiles. And now he is accused of failing to protect the energy system. Interesting logic. You did not stop the missiles with your laptop and a wrench. Shame on you. By that standard, the weatherman should stop the rain. Zelensky said on October 7th, I'm quoting, he was the head of a large system. He was obliged to ensure the security of our energy sector. He did not, unquote. That is the line. Here is the obvious question. Since when is the grid chief in charge of air defenses? He can move electrons, not anti-air missiles. He has no means to intercept a drone or a missile. Tell me. If tomorrow a meteor falls, do we arrest the traffic police for not catching it with a net? Kudryavtsky is now under embezzlement charges, with raids and arrests making the evening news. Some media in Kyiv are already whispering, this looks political. On your screen is a screenshot from Kyiv Independent. The report says it might be a political action. This is not Russian propaganda. You can hear the subtext, we need a scapegoat. It's a classic script. First, launch a risky plan. Second, watch the blowback. Third, blame the nearest official who cannot fight back on television. The public gets a show, the problem stays. Let's be honest, attacking Russia's energy heart was always a high-risk move. If you poke the bear's generator, the bear will unplug yours. And that is all for now. Thank you very much for joining. You're watching GNF.